Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I started doing one and it was like a GIF, and I'm like, what the hell? No. Welcome back, welcome back. So hey, first off, we did get a little bit of a haircut. I was actually wanting to get it a little bit shorter, but they were really busy, and I was like, all right, let's go with this for now. They kind of were just like, this look good. I'm like, sure. Want to great clip, so you just I had two people there, so cutting hair, so I was like, I can come back. So it's definitely a little bit shorter. So it's not quite as in my face as it was. So it's fine for now. I can slick it back and still wear a hat and all that good stuff. And this is all information that you truly care about. So anyway, guys, I thought I would, as I was thinking, as I posted in the community, I was thinking that much like I did with some of the other ones, I figured I'd do a ranking video for Scream before I start doing the pitches. I'm still kind of fleshing out a few of the pitches and ideas on how to do them and stuff like that, and make some tweaks, here and there. But yeah, but that's not what this video is yet, because this video is I finally saw Terrifier 2 last week on Amazon. It finally came to Amazon, so I didn't have to rent it from Redbox. So here's my review for that. I also started watching another show, which I can talk about that in a different video. But yeah, Terrifier 2, guys. So for those of you who don't know what Terrifier 1 was, it's actually there's an interesting character called Art the Clown, who, it's funny he's called a clown because he looks more like a mime, but mimes are things too. But yeah, the first movie is really graphic, but apparently the guy who created it has had this character in a lot of short films and things like that, and it might have even been animation or something like that. But so this character's had a lot of iterations before it's come to the thing. I think it's played by the same person every time, which is cool. But yeah, the first one is very graphic. It's these two girls or whatever, party girls, he centers on them and ends up really brutally killing them and stuff. So it's a new kind of slasher. But the first one, it's kind of is this guy human? Is this guy, you're kind of trying to figure out what his deal is and shit. Is he just a creep that likes to dress up like a clown? It's but yeah, it's so the first one ends basically he bites this woman's face, and then because at the beginning you see this woman, her face is sewn together, and she doesn't really have any eyes now, so it's really creepy, and she ends up losing it on this news reporter who's mocking her at the beginning of the movie. But that's all about part one. So this was two. They definitely upped the ante on this, and they definitely got more of a budget as well, as you can tell. But they definitely kept all the gore and graphic, disgusting things. There were reports that people were actually throwing up in the theaters. I think that was probably bullshit, unless you really didn't have a very strong stomach for that. But if you think a Cronenberg film or things like that, I mean, you could probably hack this. It's for me, it's just I've gotten to a point where I can see people getting their eye jabbed, but there's certain scenes where you if you see something coming at the eye, that's more freaky because it's because you can feel that. Or in The Fly when he peels his fucking fingernail. Oh, that's I can't take that. Anytime I see that type of stuff on screen, I'm looking away, looking away. Those are the only two things I can really say. I can see someone's head cut off. I can see stabbed in the ear or whatever. That's fine, but the nails, that's the one that really gets me. But no, it's so I think if you can handle that, you can definitely handle this. Now it is very violent, so I will forewarn you on that. It's rated R, but it's got some very entertaining segments and a really cool final girl, who apparently I saw on Amazon, the director had been wanting to bring this character into a film for a long time. So it's interesting because her brother is kind of obsessed with him because he's kind of a serial killer, kind of. But you kind of think, as it goes along, you kind of figure he's kind of got, I think he's kind of got sort of an alien connection to him, and not xenomorph alien, but he's not human is the basic reality of it. He's definitely, whether he's a demon or whether he's a space thing is up to, I guess, interpretation. But yeah, there are definitely some violent kills in there. And the guy doing it is clearly having a fucking blast, which definitely makes it, and it made me laugh a couple times too, honestly, as vicious as it was. It's like his facial expressions are great. He's definitely, I think the actor has done some mime work and stuff like that, so he can definitely, because he doesn't talk. He's a silent killer. So it's like Michael Myers kind of. But yeah, and there's these things where he sees this other girl that kind of looks like him, this little girl. It was a very weird thing. But yeah, there was some decent creative kills in there too. Like he pulls the guy's eye out and then puts it in his own thing, like just joking around with it. But yeah, it's definitely. Oh, by the way, spoilers if you were not expecting spoilers, but it came out like last year, so if you haven't seen it, well, sorry about that. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid slasher, and it ends kind of on a little bit of a cliffhanger where the girl that was, had no eyes basically, is locked up in a metal thing, and then she basically rebirth. He gets killed, and like finally the final girl kills him, but after she takes a fucking beating. So I think she's kind of got some kind of connection to the space thing, because she basically kind of dies, but then she kind of comes back, and gets like this sword and stuff like that, and chops his head off and stuff. But when then his head is reborn through that woman's vagina essentially. So she's just sitting there rocking his head. It was an after credit thing, and randomly Chris Jericho's there, and I was like, "Fuck is Chris Jericho down here?" Like, okay, random. So yeah, they definitely set it for a third one. But yeah, the final girl was really good. I thought the acting was pretty solid. Definitely even better than the first one. But like, they have solid actors. Like I said, the guy playing Art the Clown is really good. And it's very violent. It is a slasher, and they don't hold anything back. So if you're used to like Friday the 13th Part 7, where they cut a bunch of stuff, or the MPA or something, no, they go balls to the wall. Like, you're going to see some gore. You're going to see people's heads smashed in and all sorts of stuff. So, forewarned on that. If that's not for you, if you can't stomach that, then it's definitely not the movie for you. But if you like a good slasher and like a fun killer, it's a good final girl. It's a good watch. So yeah, it's on Amazon right now. Of course, you can get it on DVD, I'm sure too. But yeah, I definitely highly recommend it. If you like that, because like I said, I liked it better than the first one. Honestly, I feel like first one I kind of just caught on streaming, and I was like, it's a slasher. I'll check it out. And it was like, the guy was entertaining, but it was kind of it was like, oof, that was kind of graphic, but and kind of weird and all that. But like this one, I feel like it fleshed the story out a little bit more. They had a little bigger budget. They could do a little bit more, and it was fun. I enjoyed watching it. So check out Terrifier on Amazon Prime. Thanks, guys, for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. And welcome to our recent new subscriber after last week. Hope you guys enjoyed our Chucky Season 1 review. So thank you for that. And I'll be back with a Scream ranking video and some other stuff. So have a good night, guys.